Hey, this is Chan, and today I'm here to start off a new series, a little series on our channel. I'm calling it Hobonichi Friend or Foe, and I got this idea from my dog. Because whenever we're out and about, whenever we're walking together or hanging out together, I always get ideas, and I find that just being around him helps to clear my mind of all the clutter and all the things that I worry about. So because of my dog Wilbur, I got this idea over a year ago, and it's only taken me this long to actually do something about it. So I thought it would be a good idea to just show you guys different pen sets I have and to use them in front of you guys and let you see how they do on the paper. Because some pens do better than others, right? And also some colors do better than others as well. So we're going to start off with this pen set here. This is a Kuretake Zig Clean Color Dot. Whenever I see Japanese stationery items or Japanese pens on American sites, I try to find them on Amazon Japan first because Amazon Japan usually has a better price. So the reason I'm so excited about these pens is because they have a flexible tip that can create different sizes of dots depending on the pressure that you put on the tip. Isn't that cool? I just think that's so fun, eh? I actually have another set of pens that makes little dots, but they don't do too well on the Tomoe River paper, so I was kind of disappointed in the other ones. I'll show those in another video so you can check those ones out. But these ones gave me hope because I was just thinking maybe these are the pens I've been looking for that are going to make little dots, right? So I've got this set of 12 pens here. As far as I know, there are only 12 colors right now. So you can get the pack of 12, or you can get a pack of 4 colors, or you can get individual pens. So if you buy the set of 12, you get this plastic case. And this is a flexible plastic case, so it's not a hard case. Just want to point that out if you're going to be throwing this in your bag. Right? There is a little bit of flexibility to the plastic there. And if you look closely, there's this cute little stripey pattern in the plastic. It's a nice little detail. And then they've got some examples of how you can use the pen, so the cute little cat and dog there. And on the back of the box, they have more examples there, and also they show you how you can get a really tiny dot by not putting too much pressure, and then getting a larger dot by adding pressure. So you can get quite a variety of sizes of dots there. So this is what the pen barrel or pen body looks like. It says Zig Clean Color Dot right there, and then they've got some details right here. It says water-based pigment, and keep horizontal, so you don't want to be storing the box upright, right? And I really like how they have the color name printed right there. So this one's called Ocean. It's a beautiful color. And you may have noticed that it's dual tipped, which is awesome. You get the tip that makes the little dots, and then you also get this 0.5 millimeter fine tip. So you can write with that or draw with that. I don't know if you can see, all right? Okay, so here is my Hobonichi A6 plain notebook. And I'm going to be using this for pen swatches and ink swatches, which I know some people might think is weird and a waste of a notebook, but to me it's not a waste of a notebook just because I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I've been wanting to swatch out all my pens and ink pads. Not that I really want to swatch all my ink pads because it's a lot of work, right? But I've been wanting to have a way to have all my swatches together in one book. Because what I used to do was I used to swatch pens in the back of my weeks book, or in the memo pages of my A6, or sometimes in the daily pages of my A6 or A5. But the problem with that is, let's say you swatch pens out in your 2018 weeks, right? Then in 2019, you're gonna have to keep referring back to your 2018 one just to see your pen swatches, or you're gonna have to re-swatch them again in your 2019 weeks if you wanna have them on hand at all times, right? So I think it's just better to have a separate notebook for your ink swatches. Some people might think having the A6 plain notebook just for ink swatches is a little excessive, but I do have a lot of pens, and I do think that I'll actually go through many of these pages with my swatches. If you're gonna do this, I would recommend only swatching your pens out on one side of the page, and that way you can really see what bleeds through and what doesn't. So if you're thinking about doing this but don't want to use a Hobonichi plain notebook just for this purpose, you could try using one of their memo pads. They call them memo pads, but they're really thin notebooks. And these ones are from the set that coordinates well with the weeks. These are slightly smaller than the size of the weeks book, so you can fit them in the back pocket of your weeks cover on cover if you have one. These would work well for ink swatches, I think, because they're slim and they're tall, so you can fit a lot of ink swatches down the page. So if you're wondering how many pages you get in one of these notebooks, if you're only going to be using one side for ink swatches so that you can see if the ink bleeds through or not, then you get 20 pages. Right? You can also get these in other sizes too. They have ones that work well with the A6 size Techo and ones that work well with the A5 size Techo. The ones that work with the A6 size Techo, they actually have perforated pages, so you could do your ink swatches and then tear them out too if you want. So I decided that for each page, I want to have the name of the pens across the top, but I wanted to have the names of the pens kind of uniform looking, right? So I'm going to be using this Pigma Micron pen for the names of the pens, right? Okay, so that doesn't look that great, and also you don't have to write that big, but I just wanted to make it clear for you guys who are watching on maybe your phone or something like that. Okie doke. Let's get to the ink swatches now. So first up is this color here, and this one's called Candy Pink. Right? I'm just going to make different sizes of dots. This one kind of looks like highlighter pink. Right? Let's see different sizes of dots that you can get. I think that for writing purposes, this ink color is a touch light. And then this one here is Salmon, which is a gorgeous color. I love this color. So there, I kind of messed up because I didn't really vary the pressure too much. So you can see that 5 of these dots look basically the same size. But you get the idea. You can get different sizes of dots if you actually vary the pressure more. And then this one here is called Island Coral, which is a very nice color as well. Yeah. Cute color, eh? I gotta tell you, I love this Island Coral color. It's just such a great color. It's not too dark, but it's also not too light. You see how the Candy Pink is kind of hard to read there? But the Island Coral is very easy to read, and it's just such a nice shade. I love it. Next up is this one here called Summer Sun. Right? A nice warm yellow. Then we've got Kiwi, which is this awesome shade of green. I love this shade of green. The ink color is more of a yellowy green than the cap shows, and I actually prefer the ink color over the cap color. And now we're on to Ocean, that great color that I showed you before. Beautiful color. Then we've got this light blue here that's called Blue Bonnet. This one is a touch light if you're using the fine tip, I find. Then we've got this deeper shade of blue called Denim. This is a really nice shade of blue. And this one here is called Splash. And this light purple here is called Hyacinth. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And then this one is called Fawn. And then the last color is this light gray called Platinum. This color is a little bit light when you're using the fine tip. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of time to dry. I wanted to point out that the caps of the pens click closed, which I like. Right? That way you can just be sure that your pens are capped properly. Okay? So I mentioned before that the candy pink is kind of light, right? But it actually looks lighter on my camera than it really is. In person, it's not quite as light as what I'm seeing up there. But I just wanted to show you. The cap actually does look pretty close to the ink color there, I would say. Right? Summer Sun, I would say the cap color looks just slightly more orangey than the ink color. I mean, it is a nice, warm, bright yellow, but I would say that the cap looks just slightly orangier, which is not a word, I know. And as I was mentioning before, the kiwi does not really look like the cap color. In person, the ink color looks more like a yellowy green, but it's an awesome, awesome shade. I love that kind of green. I would say that Ocean looks dustier than the cap color. It's a beautiful shade. I love this. It's like this dusty teal kind of color. So I think my camera is washing out Blue Bonnet as well, because in person it doesn't look quite as light as it looks on my camera there. In person it's more of a nice sky blue, although it's much easier to see the color in the dots. Over here, it's just a little bit light. I wouldn't want to write a whole entry in that color just because it just looks a little light, that's all. I would say it looks similar to the cap color, although the cap color, it kind of looks like it has a tinge more yellow in the blue than the ink color. For Hyacinth, I would say that the cap color looks a little bit brighter than the actual ink color. The actual ink color is just slightly dustier. Nice shade of purple though. Fawn looks a little bit lighter than the cap color. And Platinum looks slightly lighter than the cap color too. Okay, so now is the moment of truth. We're gonna see how well it did on the Tomoe River paper. Not bad, right? Let me just put the Tchotchke back there so you can see. Not bad at all. In person, I see some coming through slightly on the splash. Okay, the splash, which is that one right there. You can see a little bit of it coming through right there. Let me just bring this closer so you can see. Okay, but overall, these did really, really well. You can see there, right? They did really, really well. And I was pressing a little bit hard on some of these too, so I think that this is pretty darn good. So I would say that they are definitely a Hobonichi friend. So that's awesome news for Hobonichi users who are interested in these pens because they're honestly so fun to use. I have bought a bunch of different pen sets this year, and some of them, I mean, I love some of the colors, but with these, I actually just have so much fun playing with them. It's not just writing. You can actually just have a lot of fun playing with them. And the colors are great too. I do love the colors as well. Let me show you guys an example that I did in my A5 plain notebook. So this is my A5 plain notebook from Hobonichi, and I just created this little title here that says clean color dot. And you can see it's not perfect. This is always kind of weird, but it was really fun to do this, and that's why I love these pens, because they're just a fun way to create letters and images and decorations on your page, right? So you can use them for different things. I've thought of a few ideas. You can use them to make polka dots in the background. You can use them to make bulleted lists. You can use them to make borders. You can use them to highlight dates as well in your monthly calendar view, let's say, or in your week's book. So I definitely recommend these if you're looking for some fun pens to use in your journals or planners. I usually like to have a page for each video I've made, so I like to record stuff like the date that I made the video and also how long the video is before editing and how long it is after editing, that kind of stuff. And also little notes about things I've learned along the way. So that's what I'm going to use this page for. One more thing I wanted to show you guys is how these do with water. So once you let the ink dry, they're pretty water resistant. Like you can see that some ink is running, right? Some ink is running off, but you can still see the dots, you know what I mean? So the ink isn't 100% budge free. I don't know if that's a thing, but you can still see the dots. See that? So I just wanted to point that out. All right, so you have it, guys, the Kuretake Zig clean color dot pens. I love them, and they totally get a yes from me. Oh my god. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it helped you if you've been considering these pens. And I just want to say thanks for watching, and hopefully catch you next time. Alright, bye!